So I was extremely shy before that. Tell me your two negative qualities. And I was youngest amongst all of them. I was just 19 then. कुछ चीज़ें back of the stage होती रहती है and you're still leading them. So these are the things which gave me more and more confidence that yes, Indian Air Force is calling.
One mantra for SSB. Jai Hind everyone, welcome back to another episode of Voice of Red Hackle, a podcast of the cadets by the cadets for the cadets. Today we have with us a very special guest. She has done both Army and Air Wing NCC, has done multiple prestigious NCC camps, also served for over a decade in Indian Air Force, and also cleared her SSB in the very first attempt. She also got featured in the National Geographic Mission Army reality show. We have with us Squadron Leader Priyanka Oswal ma'am. Thank you ma'am for joining us today.
Thank you so much. I'm glad that I am here today.
It's a pleasure to have you here ma'am. So ma'am, let's start with your NCC journey. When did you join your NCC and how NCC shaped your personality over the years?
So for me, till 7th, everything was fine in school. And as I recall, in 8th standard, that is the first time that you get to know NCC and you see JW and JDs. I mean, that is the terminology used
Right,
by
ma'am.
NCC, right? So that was the first time where I saw that there are some students who are wearing some wonderful uniform, and I also wanted that uniform somehow. So I asked one of the seniors that how to do that and what is that exactly. So I was extremely shy before that, but finally ended up in 8th standard NCC and started my C certificate journey then. And that was Army NCC because that time JWs were taken into Army NCC only. So I started that journey, and 8th and 9th standard, both years for NCC, they were extremely remarkable because I realized that, that actually gave me first time interacting with boys and girls together because मैं completely all girls school में थी. तो ऐसे इंटरेक्शन फर्स्ट टाइम हो रहा था एंड वो लीडरशिप का एक मज़ा आने लग गया था कि ऐसे लीडरशिप का पॉइंट भी हो सकता है वेयर आई कैन ऑल्सो स्टैंड इन फ्रंट ऑफ एवरीवन एंड गिव कमांड्स, डू परेड और यूनिफॉर्म प्रिपेयर करना. तो वो 2 साल आई थिंक उसी में चले गए कि ये अच्छा लग रहा है. और 9th में थल सेना कैंप की ट्रेनिंग पूरे टाइम चली. आई रीच टिल प्री थल सेना एंड डिड लॉट ऑफ शूटिंग. एक्चुअली उसी में पॉइंट टू और स्नैप शूटिंग और ये सारी चीज़ें वहाँ सीखी मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम. सो आर सीनियर्स वर रियली गुड कि उन्होंने हमारा एक्स्ट्रा एक कैंप लिया था पूरा 1 महीने का जहाँ पे शूटिंग एक्स्ट्रा सिखाई गई फॉर अ मंथ. सो दैट रियली वेंट वेल, आई थिंक सो.
So ma'am, you said about Thal Sainik camp.
Yeah.
And you have also attended many camps after that, like Vayu Sainik camp
Yeah.
and Republic Day camp. So ma'am, what are special memories or moments which you would like to share from those camps ma'am?
Yeah, so one memory from Air Wing NCC where I was doing pre-Vayusainik camp and we were in Nagpur that time. तो बहुत दिन हो गए थे हम लोग कैंप्स, क्योंकि कंटिन्यूसली कैंप्स चलता है ना, यू आर ऑन एंड ऑन. वो प्रोसेस इतनी लंबी है टिल द एंड यू रीच एंड सिलेक्शन गोज ऑन. किसी का रिजेक्शन होता है, कोई किसी को बुरा लगता है, ये चलता रहता है, द जर्नी गोज ऑन. तो उसमें एक दिन हम इतने सैड थे तो आई वॉज ऑलरेडी रिजेक्टेड बाई देन फॉर दैट पर्टिकुलर ईयर. और नेक्स्ट ईयर वायुसैनिक फिर से ट्राई करेंगे ऐसे डिसाइड हुआ. दिस वॉज जूनियर टर्म, मतलब फर्स्ट ईयर ऑफ NCC. तो आई ओनली डिसाइडेड, एवरीबडी वॉज डूइंग द प्रैक्टिस एंड आई डिसाइडेड टू मेक मैगी ऑन कैंडल and make sure that it is ready by the time they come back and they're happy with looking at it. Because खाना irritating हो जाता है एक point के बाद कि कितना वही खाना repetitive लगता है. तो I made that Maggi for almost 2 hours and finally we ended that Maggi in 2 minutes. That was wonderful memory. And one of the another memory which I remember at All India Vayusainik camp, जब हम पूरा महाराष्ट्र कंटिजेंट, आई वॉज लीडिंग द कंटिजेंट एंड वी वेंट फाइनली इन सेकेंड ईयर. तो वहाँ पे ड्रिल कॉम था, नेक्स्ट डे ड्रिल कॉम्पिटिशन था. आई वॉज परेड कमांडिंग द होल कॉम्पिटिशन. सो उसके एक दिन पहले द लेवल ऑफ एड्रेनलिन कितना हो सकता है, तो उसका मतलब जस्ट एग्जाम्पल कि we were 13 who were representing Maharashtra and standing as a box, like we were competing and trained completely ready, all set. I checked everybody's uniform a day prior, a night prior, I would say, कि सबके यूनिफॉर्म सही है ना, ठीक है ना.
Inspection kind of.
हाँ, तो मुझे ऐसे यूनिफॉर्म एज इन सबके यूनिफॉर्म हैंगर पे लगे हुए मेरे टेंट में थे.
Okay.
एंड दे वर स्लीपिंग ऑल ऑफ देम. सो आई डिड नॉट टेल देम दैट ये होगा, ये करना है, कंपलसरी है. बट इट वॉज सो इन मी कि नहीं, सब सेट होना चाहिए, सब ठीक जाना चाहिए. एंड दैट बिलीफ ऑफ कि नहीं, आई एम लीडिंग देम, द कंटिजेंट इज गोइंग अहेड एंड महाराष्ट्र इज रिप्रेजेंटिंग. सो इट वॉज वेरी बिग थिंग फॉर अस.
Definitely.
तो वो एक मोमेंट मुझे हमेशा याद रहता है कि कुछ चीज़ें बैक ऑफ द स्टेज होती रहती है एंड यू आर स्टिल लीडिंग देम कंटिन्यूसली.
So, ma'am, you mentioned about you led the Maharashtra contingent
Yeah.
in the All India Vayu Sainik camp. So, ma'am, how was that experience like, and how that particular exposure changed your personality or anything which you think that was really helpful?
I think Air Wing NCC actually changed the whole perspective about Forge, and going to Indian Air Force got more and more pinpointed
Right, ma'am.
then. And Air Wing NCC gave a exposure to the various activities of Indian Air Force, because aero modeling happens in Air Wing NCC, which these were not parts of Army Wing NCC.
Right, ma'am.
So then we completed our 10 hours of flying in microlight because we were preparing for All India Vayu Sainik also.
Okay.
So these are the things which gave me more and more confidence that yes, Indian Air Force is calling, and it is calling for a purpose, and that this is it. This is the point. And more or less, when you are taking along with you, of course, our contingent was 33 cadets total of us. But though we were of same age, but still there was a feeling that no, I have responsibility of all of them. I used to make sure that nobody falls sick.
Right.
Nobody is having, they are homesick in a way. It happens sometimes that you are homesick at camp's place, that though you have your friends together, but you want to speak at home and you're going through that complete rigor. So that kind of team building happened during Air Wing NCC especially, and AIVSC. Then flying the microlight gave me more, I would say, confidence, as in to see that I can learn anything new. And there one more thing happened which was new. I learned skid shooting in between.
Okay.
So skid shooting is the one of the events of
Right, ma'am.
AIVSC.
Yes, ma'am.
And skid shooting can be done in Pune at NDA. So we were taken to NDA every day to fly anyways. So our CEO used to take us to skid shooting also. And we were actually falling short of one cadet for skid shooting to represent. So he one day suddenly said, my CEO, that why don't you try skid shooting if your .22 is so well. So I said, yeah, fine, I can try that. Skid shooting, you know that how
Yes,
it is
ma'am.
done, right?
Mm.
So one fine day I stood there, and of course the recoil is very high because it's a big bore gun. And so it happened, and out of 10 I had hit already 7. And CEO was dancing behind me that you are already doing it and you have to go for it. I mean, you should learn it and chase it more and more. So ultimately I represented skid shooting also at AIVSC, because you can represent for certain events at AIVSC.
Yeah, yes,
So AIVSC gave me that confidence that yes, you should learn more and more things, and there is sky's the limit. I mean, you
Right,
should
ma'am.
not stop at any point. Yeah.
Definitely, ma'am. The memories or like the exposure you get during these national camps is like very different.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, moving forward, if we talk about your school journey, your last 2 years you have done from Rani Lakshmibai Girls Sainik School.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, how is that school is different from normal schooling of girls?
Yeah, so it's a residential school, and it is based in outskirts of Pune. And so school is from 5th to 12th. So I joined that school at 11th, in the 11th, and completed 2 years there. So the regime, the complete routine, I would say, they follow similar to Sainik schools, any Sainik school which is coming under central government. So the regime is similar. So they are also getting trained to join Forge. And when the school started in the beginning, like many years back, 30 years back almost, that time NDA was not open. So all the women, all the cadets who used to pass out from school, they used to come out and do their graduation and then go for Forge.
Okay.
So, but now the opportunity is different, and yes, definitely, school cadets are also trying for NDA and chasing that particular
Right,
story.
you got the opportunity to be a part of both Army Wing and as well as Air Wing NCC. So, ma'am, what differences you experience in both the wings, and any particular uh, points you would like to highlight? Like they both have different, and it is best in army wing or it is good in air wing, like that.
So both are best. Let's be very, true to it. And मैं जब आर्मी विंग कर रही थी तो आई वॉज जस्ट अ किड, सो आई थिंक उसमें वो एड्रेनलिन ज़्यादा था उस टाइम पे कि यूनिफॉर्म पहनना है एंड ऑल दैट. एंड ऑफ कोर्स आर्मी की सारी एक्टिविटीज़, दी पार्ट ऑफ शूटिंग, आई वुड से शूटिंग, टेंट पिचिंग एंड ऑल दोज थिंग्स, मे बी सम मोर पोर्शन ऑफ विजिटिंग tanks and artillery places is more compared to air wing. Air wing, the flying portion is more because they teach you microlight flying for going for All India Biosonic. So I think that is major difference. And air wing is the only place जहाँ पे skid shooting भी consider किया जाता है because it is portion of again AIBSC.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah. So that is the major difference. And aero modeling you can get to teach, I mean get to learn and do more and more about it in air wing NCC only, and not in the army. Yeah.
Ma'am, we can conclude both are best. It depends on individual interest.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, right, ma'am. So, ma'am, apart from NCC, you also got opportunity to be part of one reality show, National Geographic Mission Army reality show.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, how did you get in there, and how was your experience there? Like, you also performed a Lido jump.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, please kindly share about that also.
So this particular Mission Army, Nat Geo Mission Army reality and documentary show, this happened in 2010-11 and way back, of course. It was not a time of maybe internet so much, but still the information reached me somehow. I mean, I was prepared, so of course, when you are prepared, the opportunities come in front of you.
Right, ma'am.
And I had already enrolled online, and the opportunity came. They called me to Delhi for auditions and the whole process. The complete process they wanted to show as in that how exactly a civilian will come to go through the process and reach army, and then various departments or branches of army they wanted to show to everybody in India. So that was the whole show about. So they had selected some out of 2,000 people, some only just 5.
Okay.
And 3 boys and 2 girls were selected. And I had just completed AIBSC then, and this was additional thing which was popped up suddenly.
Right, ma'am.
So they selected, and I was also shocked that they are ready to take, and I was youngest amongst all of them. I was just 19 then. So all were surprised, confused, overwhelmed with the whole thing, that is it true or not, and what is going to happen. Because of course at that age you are going to take some leap of faith and go ahead, but still you are taking that, judging the moment. So it happened, I finally went for Nat Geo Mission Army and went with them for 40 days. It was shot for almost 42 days all over India at 10 different locations. And I'm really glad for that opportunity. And that is the first time, I think, no matter that it was part of show, but we went to IMA.
Right, ma'am.
And girls went to IMA then, and now already women,
Yes, ma'am.
cadets and getting trained in IMA for commissioning in another
Yes, ma'am.
years. So it feels a full circle now, that exactly after 15 years that whole thing is happening, and it is true right now in India. So then we finally, our another destination was Commando School Belgaum, and we had gone there. So we knew that we would be doing some kind of, I had heard only Prahar movie, so not very sure of what is going to happen in Commando School, but somewhat I knew that they are going to make us jump somewhere in the swimming pool. So then the final day came up and they showed us how Lido jump to be done. And Lido jump is not a normal 10-meter jump or 7.5-meter jump in the
Yes,
pool.
ma'am.
So I think it's more than physical strength, it's a mental strength that is getting
Right,
checked
ma'am.
during the jump. So you get into the water, you completely get wet, and then climb the ladder in the pool.
Okay.
So you climb the ladder completely. Then there is a beautiful bridge between 2 ladders in the pool, and it's written, a statement is written on that bridge, that something related to courage, they have written it. And the bridge is slightly moving at that height. It is at 50 feet height.
Hmm.
So you move across that bridge, go to the other end, and they have kept a towel there to clean your hands and dry your hands especially, and then they ask you to go on the rope to monkey crawl and go to a point to make yourself ready to jump in the water. So you climb the rope and monkey crawl the rope. You come to a point, you get your legs down, you are standing like this on the rope.
Yes, ma'am.
And they ask you to report that commando so and so ready to jump, sir.
Right, ma'am.
And then there is a gunshot and you leave your hands.
Yeah.
So I know it's very dramatic, but it doesn't happen that way. It is, I mean, patti hai at that height. Okay.
Definitely, ma'am.
I mean, reality, I am saying that any human being doing this, whatever it is, I mean, I think less knowledge is better than having that knowledge that it is a lead or jump. So you directly go up and just do it rather than having any thought in your mind. So for me, those seconds, whatever 3, 4, 5 seconds I have taken from 55 feet to fall down into the water, of course they were. I will never forget that moment. I mean, it was
Right,
one of the courageous moment I think I have in my memory, core memory. So yeah, this is it.
Definitely, ma'am. The Lido jump you mentioned, that definitely requires a lot of mental strength
Yeah,
compared to physical strength, we see.
yeah.
Thanks for sharing, ma'am, in such a detailed way about your NCC experience and journey. It was really nice and interesting to hear all about that. So, ma'am, let's move forward to your SSB. You cleared it in very first attempt. Very few are able to do so in their very first attempt. So, ma'am, what was your master strategy that you did, or like you had in yourself, that helped you in achieving this?
So I think I will also mention here that FCAT, that was the last FCAT attempt for me for going for flying branch. And I mean, I cleared it and I was really happy that this happened. And so I was like preparing for SSB with a mind that this is the only attempt. This is it. I mean, there is no second chance to it. If you have to go through this, then you will go through right now. Otherwise, no. And SSB is not taking your interview as such. They are seeing you from all the facets, all the personality styles. They are seeing you as an individual, as a group member, as a team player, as a, if they divide your teams also, then how are you behaving? Are you fighting with them or are you solving problems?
Right, ma'am.
So SSB is more of, I think, for me, the experience was uh, to, I mean, get more friends. I think that was the best part of it. And I went there with the faith that this is the place where I think I'll make friends all over India, and had faith in yourself कि मतलब हाँ मुझे पता है मुझे ये करना है. वो
Right.
कॉन्फिडेंस से जाना was more apt rather than going with the fact that कि मुझे ये भी याद करना है, मुझे वो भी याद करना है. It's not a theory test. It is not. It is your you are representing yourself. Your, I mean, be the way you are. I think that is the best way to go to SSB. You don't have to tweak anything unnecessarily and go there, because they are not asking for that, and you will also not remember what you have done to yourself because you are not natural otherwise. So be the way you are, and I think it comes
Right,
once you are in the frame of SSB.
right.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, after this success, you went into the Indian Air Force and served there as an administrative officer and also as a fighter controller.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, how was your job there, and how was your experience like serving in the Indian Air Force and protecting our skies?
It's a very beautiful question, and I would say it's overwhelming also. Going back, I mean, it's just been a year that I have hung my uniform, and yes, it was one of the beautiful decades, I would say. And मतलब वो 10 साल में ऐसा कोई मोमेंट नहीं था जब ऐसा लगा कि वाई आई एम हियर. ऐसे कभी नहीं आया मन में. एंड आई थिंक इट इज़ मोर और लेस, fighter controlling is more about being on your toes every time. It's a 24/7 thing. Like you're guarding you're a guard just in the sky
Okay.
rather than on the land. So how will you guard? There are stages of, I mean, either you're observing or you are reacting to it or you are intercepting it. There are steps to it, right? So fighter controller is that one person who knows whole picture in and out about everything. everything in the air. So that kind of visibility and that kind of picture, the whole picture in front of one fighter controller is a huge thing. It's a huge responsibility also. And now, as and when like situations are changing, it has come to the notice that fighter controllers are doing amazing service. And though they are never in the front, but they are the real heroes, I think, at the backstage,
Definitely.
and they are doing the work behind.
So, ma'am, you gave only one SSB and you cleared that and joined the academy. So, ma'am, any special moment or memory which you carry with yourself till now from that SSB?
Yeah, so the personal interview of the SSB is whole crux ultimately, okay? So, and that interview had one beautiful question that interviewer had asked me that what is your, tell me your two negative qualities. And I was like, I mean, you always prepare for your positives and best, right?
Right, ma'am.
You are never there to tell anyone that why will I share my negative qualities and why should I? But no, that question was there, and of course, my qualities I can definitely know. I mean, this was not a question to pass. So I said that yes, I can tell you two negative qualities, and I shared. So one of them was that I do get angry. So he asked me. So the quality what I shared was I do get angry, and but ultimately I convert that to complete some job or not done work or not properly. If some work is not properly done or something like that. So interviewer asked me that when was the last time you got angry of this sort? So I said that yeah, me and my friends we were going for a trek and I was planning the whole thing. I was going and convincing their parents also. I mean everybody at the same age, but I am going and convincing their parents, planning the whole stuff. We were going for a trek in Himachal. So the whole thing happened and nobody was ready to take responsibility only. And it was last 1 week to go for a trek. And finally, I got angry that no, I'm pissed off with this kind of planning. I myself like a lot of planned things. So let me take everything in my hands only, and I completed the whole job. So this was the memory which I shared with Sir. And so I think he accepted the answer. Apparently, it looks like that. And second one was that I told him that there is always a scope of improvement. So even if I am at SSB and sitting here today, I think I should be doing hard work continuously. There is no stopping right now. Like even if I get commissioned today or tomorrow, it is not the end. There it continues. It continues. So there was a counter question to that. That means that you are not working hard today. So I said that no, I am working hard today, and that is why I am here. But that will continue. It will not stop today. So that was one of the maybe positive quality or negative quality, but still getting converting into the further journey. So that is how it came up, and I mean, and it was an impromptu answer. It was,
Right, ma'am.
I mean, of course, you can't prepare these answers, and you should not actually for SSB at least. So that time I realized that you can convert your all the negative portions, or I am saying that all the difficult portions about your personalities, you can convert them into
Right.
your style, your way of going ahead. It's not necessary that you will be able to do everything or you'll be able to complete every task, but at least you can try. You can give your 100%.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah.
I guess every individual who goes through SSB has some kind of special memory or moment
Yeah.
with them. They carry with them
Yeah.
forever. So, ma'am, after this great success in SSB, ma'am, and coming from NCC background to joining Indian Air Force, how was your initial days and how was your job as a fighter controller there?
Yeah, so initially, fighter controlling was a kind of new branch coming up. It was already there, but still, I mean, Air Force was also evolving 10 years back and wonderfully evolving, I would say, that
Right, ma'am.
the technical part, the equipments, and everything, and all the fighter aeroplanes, of course. So, because I had applied initially for flying branch and could not go through that, and I got rejected in medicals. So, of course, going back to and near to fighters, the word itself was giving me that kick that no, I have to be here. So, fighter controlling started with that moment, and I went for fighter controlling training, completed that, and came for my first posting. It was just 1 year into the Air Force and general normal day, and I was doing my duty. So, regular day of any FC you would see. So it was my duty there, and so anything on the radar which is not known to you is unknown object for you, and you are watching out for them. So that is basic job of fighter controller, and you're observing radar basically. So anything unknown which is popping up, it is there. You just check out whether it is anything friendly and it is in front of you, or randomly something has come up or something has popped up. So something of this sort happened, and I reported to my higher ups that no, something is wrong here, and we need to report this. So within no time, I think 2 to 3 minutes, all decisions are taken. It is hardly any time. Like
Right.
the moment I'm saying this sentence, the decisions are already done, and execution is also done maybe. So the decisions were taken, and of course the we had to send our interceptors, and finally we sent the aircraft, and they went in a visual setting with that particular object, and it was neutralized then. And finally the investigation went on, that what was the exactly object, and what was it. That was the day I realized that how important. I used to feel really bad that I could not get through flying branch, but this was the day when I realized that no matter what, if not this, then our airspace is not safe if fighter controllers are not there.
Right.
So I realized that factor so much that day, and after that I never regretted it. Like regret also, not like regret was happening, but still there is a part of me which was saying that I should have gone to flying branch, but of course it was not. But after these particular incidents, I felt that no, fighter controllers are doing something which is very special, and that is the branch actually doing amazing for Indian Air Force, and they are at backstage, and they are the biggest heroes
True,
of
ma'am, true.
whole Indian Air Force.
Right, ma'am.
Yeah.
So, ma'am, from being a girl NCC cadet to joining the academy, you faced a lot of ups and downs in your journey. So, ma'am, how did you manage that? And have you ever faced self doubt during your preparation, like the path which you are choosing or going through? So, how did you manage, ma'am, and how did you overcome that?
So yeah, it's the journey. Now when we're talking about it, it looks very straightforward, right? But it is usually not. It has very, of course, many lows and many highs, and definitely there were situations like this, and especially during my second year when I finished NCC and came back from Mission Army, and I was at a juncture where I had not gone to college, and maybe I would say not gone to college or not studied much during that time, because obviously the energy was going into NCC and going to national camps. But I would say that that was a point where I sat to myself, and I actually took a pause, that where am I heading actually, and what do I want ultimately, where what was the dream, what I decided in 10th when I decided that I'll go to Indian Air Force and I want to go to Indian Air Force. And when the journey was getting to the end or coming to the crucial point, so I took a pause. I ultimately did some self talk. I think that made me more realizing that I have to realign myself. I have to make sure that I'm going on a right track. See, there are deviations which are going to happen. There are more things which are going to uh, they attract you more. Like so, in college times also these things happen. But ultimately, you have to come back to your own path.
Right,
So I think noting it down, writing it down somewhere, that you are ultimately doing this. You are ultimately waiting to wear that blue uniform or whatever. I
Right,
mean,
ma'am.
army uniform or navy uniform. So that needs to be very clear in your brain, that what am I doing it for? Why I am doing it for? Do I want to serve the nation? Then I very well do this. You have to be disciplined for that. It cannot happen that you just fall prey to one of the attractions which has come in between, and you just leave your overall journey, right? So I think that was one of the biggest times when I realigned, came back, and studied really well in final year, and made the eligibility for Air Force for 60% aggregate and whatever is required. And yeah, finally the journey took place, and it went on. So that is how I would like to share it.
So, ma'am, as we have explored your journey in so depth, let's move on to some rapid fire questions and
Sure,
end on a lighter note. So, ma'am, quick questions, quick thoughts.
sure.
First word after hearing NCC,
Uniform.
or if not Indian Air Force, ma'am, what alternate career?
Cinematographer.
Okay. One mantra for SSB.
Be yourself.
Ma'am, 3 must-have qualities a defense aspirant should have.
Must be team player, must be proud Indian, and must be a good leader.
Any one NCC event which had the deepest impact on you?
AIVSC.
That was a fun round. So before we wrap up, do you have any advice for our audience or young NCC cadets who are wishing to join the armed forces?
So it's a wonderful platform to give this advice, and to every young NCC cadet out there, that I would like to say, you must face all the challenges. They are going to be there. And last but not the least, have dreams and you must chase them. If you don't chase them, they are not going to get complete. So you must chase them. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for sharing with us such detailed insights. I'm sure our audience who are watching this, especially NCC cadets, must have gained some valuable lessons
Yeah.
or motivation from your experiences. It was honor to host you here on Voice of Red Hackle. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. I am glad. I'm honored.
Jai Hind.
Jai Hind.